Alright, I think I'm going to get this thing started. So, let's see what happens. Everything should be good. I see it has gone live, and I see... I'm left-handed, and I have a camera right here. So, whatever. Anyway, so... some of you, I'm hoping we get some people watching soon. Although the way things go, it never really tells me the actual count. I had some other plans for other cameras. Oh, one of the cameras just straight up didn't work. There's another problem syncing one of the other cameras. You know, I was rushing for a while trying to get this thing working, but then realized, oh yeah, I've got a whole hour. Get my water bottle up. I forgot to take a sip of water before I started. Sorry you see my fat gut, but that's okay. Alright, so those that don't, if you didn't watch my live stream from the parking lot of the thrift store, I paid $36.99 for this. It is clipping. Let me cut that down a little bit. Thank you, motherboard. I will. Is that any better? It should be. I'm not seeing it going into red now. That should be better, right? I'll hold off a minute before I do anything else. Yeah, I have the one with the microphone facing down at the motherboard, and it looks like the microphone's in a weird place on it. But yeah, it should be better. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit more. Yeah, now it's just going a little bit into the yellow now. Anyway, so again, I paid $36.99 for this at a yard sale, and currently this board is still selling for $105. So I'm gonna do some testing here, and I have a bunch of crap in my way, which you would have thought I would have moved by now. Ow! My knife is still open. There's something wrong with this knife. It doesn't open and close like it should. It could have something to do with that right there. So what did I do? Alright, so I bought this motherboard, and if you notice, something don't look right, does it? This socket is actually, the actual retention arm is broken. So I took a risk on it, and the main reason I took the risk is because Ryzen 3 series just came out, and so you know none of this is staged. I still have to open the memory. I have not, I've literally had this motherboard sitting over here for a week. This is just some generic memory that I got off of eBay, and sorry about the crackling noises, but like I said, I wanted to make sure everybody knew this was not staged. Although I did stage and open the 1 and 2 spots on the motherboard for memory. So we'll go ahead and install. This is just some generic memory. So if it doesn't work, there's 3 things it could be. And that's going to be hard to narrow down. I'll use a different knife this time. And this CPU, never been opened. This, I'm hoping is compatible with it. It says it is compatible with all Ryzen, all AM4 chips. So hopefully it's compatible with this processor. And this processor is like going on a 7-lane highway in a smart car. This is the A6 9500. So this was literally the cheapest AM4 processor. Oh my god, look at the cute little core. I'm actually going to, oh, it does have paste pre-applied, so, and because the retention mechanism is missing, I have to pretty much just sit it on here, Linus Tech Tip style, and just a little ghetto. My research shows me that the processor should face this way in the chip, or in the socket, and that way did fit. So I think I might actually, because I don't want it to move around too much, I'm going to go ahead. This solid state drive should have a copy of Zorn OS on it. So what I'll do is, I don't want to move. And the only other thing I pre-planned was I taped off all the cords that I'm not going to be using off this power supply, so they're not in my way. This is a Rosewill 600 watt or amp or whatever they rate these things in nowadays. These young whippersnappers and their 8-track cassette tapes. So I didn't want to knock around the CPU cooler, knowing that I'm going to be messing with this. So I've got the 8-pin hooked up. You know, for being a Rosewill, that's actually a pretty decent power supply. Oh yeah, and I needed a power on the SSD. Although for some reason these are upside down on these. Alright, so the SSD is hooked up. Processor's in there, just resting in there. I'm going to go ahead. God, this is a tiny little CPU cooler. And like I said, it has some thermal paste. I was prepared. I had some with me. What else do I need? I'll plug in a... Yeah, I've never really had bad luck with them. Never really had good luck with them. I've never really used them, to be honest. That's where that statement comes from. I've had neither good nor bad because I've never really used them. Oh, shoot. I need the HDMI cable. And God only knows where this camera is going to be pointed now, because I hit it with my LB bone. Alright, so I got an HDMI hooked up. Well, I'm hooking up an HDMI, I should say. Yeah, the Rosewill stuff, I mean, like, I know, like, their cases are okay. So I have everything hooked up. I have network, I have keyboard, mouse, and HDMI, SSD, memories in there. Let me straighten that back out. I mean, not that it really matters for what we're testing. I just saw something happen. What happened to that screwdriver I had? So let me bridge these two power ones. Well, I saw something flash over here. Did I blow up this motherboard? I don't see anything. Okay, so that lit up. Let me try. Maybe there's something with the magnetic thing on the or is it? Okay. So, how anticlimactic is this? It says Now, is it possible that because... Yeah, I've seen motherboards start up before without a CPU in them, so... Try a different... Where did I put that other screwdriver? Try one of the bits out of this. I hate this stupid ass screwdriver. Excuse my language, but I do. You know, that's what I should have done. Because when you, if you notice, but let it sit for a second. LED CPU. Oh yeah, this has all kinds of LED crap on it. Because here it says power switch plus and minus here, but when you let it sit and then come up, it flashes the LEDs like underneath the board. So I know it's getting power. And yeah. Alright, so what are we what's our next move here? What do you think? Try the knife. Is it on? Yeah. So here's where the power... Does this have, I know a lot of these boards have power buttons on them. Does this one have one? Unfortunately, the manual to it is not with it. The only other good ATX power supply I have is currently running the show. Especially one, I have another HP one, but I know it's missing. It only has 4 of the 8-pin, and I don't want to stop the live stream just because of that. What will be your next move, Matt? There's another like 2-pin header here. Oh, that's the clear CMOS. There are 2 I don't know what CI means either. I'm using a jumper to try to get this to come on. No, that's not it either. So it is possible that I wasted a few bucks. Which is okay in the long run, sorta, maybe. I'm not gonna be too bad. The other thing is, The ATX power switch. Hook it up to power switch. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any of them available. Hey, another KT, same battery. Yeah, see, I should have some batteries. Which, I mean, I know it might sound crazy, but I'll try. Put some weight on top of the CPU fan. I was kind of doing that. I can try to put a little bit more on there. This is not a safe knife to use for this. And to anybody that needs CR 2032s pretty often, I highly recommend these Amazon Basics ones. They're $4 for a 4-pack, but they're lithium. They're not alkaline or nickel metal hydride. However, they can be a bear to open. Yeah, then I'm going to put some weight on that. A little bit more weight than I was. That's if I can get this stupid thing out of here. I don't know if it has a... Yeah, I don't know if it has a pressure sensor, but I'll try that. The board also looks a little bent too, so yeah, I'll put some weight on there. And to the point of bending the yeah, unfortunately I don't have any ATX power switches at the ready, or even any switches. Hold on a second. I might. It just takes me a minute to get into this closet. I need a screwdriver. What did I do with that one? I'm gonna be tearing one of my vintage builds apart here. And sad part is I already know it's probably not gonna work. Oh man. And now we're telling it's in the closet. Alright, so so I have this. And the reset switch is gray on gray. It don't matter which way they go because it's just a switch. Alright, so yeah, that's not working. Power LED key lock. Let me try hard drive LED on here just to see if anything happens when I press this button. Because I know I've seen computers in the past run without a, well, you know, they'll power on the motherboard without a CPU in there. So that makes me wonder. Like I said, I didn't stage anything. Now, I can't see memory keeping it from starting. Yeah, so we'll put that back in. Most generic, I mean, because one thing I was figuring is, like, if there were stability issues, could be memory, because this is just some random crap, but I know that Ryzen is very, very particular about their memory. The only other thing I could think of is, oh, I thought I saw it. I'm gonna hit up Google. Let me do this real quick though. Okay, I'm having trouble with my news or this is a Z390 with the 9700. There's some things I've done wrong at first. That's another thing, is did I look at which side of this is supposed to go in? No, that should be... I thought I felt heat coming from here. And I do. Out of this chip. Yeah, this is put in properly. Now this memory, a bad motherboard. Well, this power supply came out of a working system. It's by that Acer computer that I've been doing like the budget stuff with. And I can't see that thing having gone bad. I mean, these will only plug in one way. But I'm thinking the motherboard might possibly be bad. So what I'll do... I mean, it just seems like it wants to work so bad. And I can feel a little bit of heat coming from here. I mean, the memory was just one of those things to just try for the sake of trying. I'm going to do something crazy. So, I know the CPU is going to lift out with that. So what happens... That's scary because I'm so used to... I just heard something click. You know what? I'm going to switch this over to this clear CMOS too. I'm wondering what this guy might have done. Which way was the CPU? That way. Either way, I'm thinking this chip... Poop. You didn't see that. I'm supposed to be smarter than that. is this at? Yeah. Unless anybody has any really good ideas, just try unplugging crap. Unless anybody has some really good ideas, I think we're probably gonna have to call this a live stream for now, because this is very disappointing. Because I bought this and then I spent $70 to see if it works. I'm trying unplugging the. I wonder if it's anything possibly with the mother or with the power supply. Like maybe it doesn't work. Fortunately, I don't have another power supply that's not powering the live stream. And hello, George Blakely. I mean, it could be possible that this SSD has gone bad. Yeah, because it's the red ones here. I just heard a noise that maybe I think maybe it was working, but let's see if I can hear that click again. And that noise is coming from outside or out in the living room. Man, this is really disappointing. Like really, really, really disappointing. And people need to make noise every time I try to do a live stream. So on top of all that, I'm just like, I'm just really perplexed here. I think I might try to get another crap. No, it won't. Let me see here. Well. Let me see something here. Gen, AMD. Actually, I think that one's really the first one. So let me, or first gen. Let me see here. I need to move. I'll move this to over here. Micro ATX. Because I definitely need to get my wife a better motherboard, or well, actually, a better system in general. This that looks reasonable. Let me. So window capture. Why is that not working? That works. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at this one here, and it doesn't actually look too bad. I mean, to be honest, I mean, you buy this whole get up here for $277. It actually doesn't look bad at all. What do you think of that? If I had the $277 right now, I'd hit hit add all three, because I really don't need a because I'm thinking of using this AM4 processor here, the one I have here, to build our new system, but I don't know. I'm just really, really annoyed and actually kind of disappointed right now. I mean, sometimes you get what you. I mean, what more did I really expect? It was it looked broken. It was at a thrift store, so you know. Sometimes you live and you learn and you get loves. So does anybody have any questions or anything while I'm live? You know, let me shut off this display capture. I'll put this up this way. Sorry, you can see my mountain of crap there. And Rotella. Rotella. I'm sure everybody cares more about Rotella than me. So anybody have any questions while I'm here? Because otherwise I'm probably just going to go ahead and call this a day. I might continue to mess with this. Because I have some theories as to what's going on, but they're really hard to test. And might as well shut off this TV that's not being used. I'm going to go ahead and package this. Well, it's going to be hard to do. I'm going to have to clean the thermal paste off of this. But for right now, I am putting it back in its package with thermal paste because I don't want to damage it. This is actually a little bit heavier of a CPU than I expected it to be. Yeah, so that's the other thing is, let me put this back down here. I don't know if that's going to come through on camera or not. Let me disconnect this thing. And if you look, there is thermal paste in the pins. But most thermal paste is designed to be non-conductive. I'm going to tear apart a little bit on this motherboard because I just want to see what's underneath the chipset heatsink. Like possibly something is shorted in there. That fell off really easy. Oh, it just had a thermal pad. Really, really, there is nothing in there. It's just a heatsink. So again, I'll ask if anybody has anything they want to add, any suggestions, any comments, concerns, emotional outbursts. Yeah, she's getting old though, Matt. I do agree. She's a cutie, but she's getting old and grouchy. And although, yeah, it's funny, she's getting old and grouchy with us. But the person I was most concerned about, being Luke, she has actually taken to very well. So I think I might go ahead and call this a thing. Yeah, I might try to do tomorrow. I have as of I think Wednesday, so as of Monday actually, we've owned the Silverado for 1 year, so I'm going to do a 1-year review. I can't believe I've had that a year already. It rolled over 22,200 and some miles today. It's been a pretty good truck so far. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I'm trying to see, is there anything else like the VRMs? They look fine. you know, I don't see any issues. How? That was sharp. Any issues or discoloration on the board around the VRMs. Again, there's thermal paste on the back of the motherboard too. Right, I mean, these traces should be covered. So, I mean, with the thermal mask, so it shouldn't be a problem. But or with the solder mask, I mean, I don't see a reason why. Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking too. But usually, it'll still power on even if the CPU is not compatible. That's the only thing. But then again, you know, I'm thinking of older systems too. You know, it's just a really weird thing. That's why but I wasn't going to spend $200 on a CPU because that is the other thing. Is it on the board or on the motherboard box? It does say Ryzen and Athlon. It doesn't say anything else, so that does make me wonder as well. So I'm just trying to take apart anything I can take apart that might reveal something problematic, like blown caps or anything, but everything looks good. Like, the main reason I took the, you know what, dude, you're actually 100% right. Give me 1 minute. Let me, put this back together. Ow! Some of these are sharp as hell right now. Like, I can understand it powering on but not being compatible and just, you know, not working. But it's usually with that type of situation, if you have a bad CPU, or not bad CPU, but incompatible one, it'll usually just, you know, sometimes either beep at you or do nothing. Put this over here. Display capture. PC. Partpicker.com. System builder, so. Yeah, no, I'm always getting hurt. So let's try a motherboard. Alright. So it is a gigabyte AM4 B450 Aorus Elite and CPU. Boom, right there. So that's that's the consideration here. Tells me that the A6 is not compatible. So what about these Athlons? Dude, I seriously almost bought these. I wanted to do an episode of don't buy this. or I bought it so you don't have to. But then when I realized that it was coming out of Hong Kong, I'm like, you know what? Not even worth it. Because it was also the fact that it wasn't free shipping. But, so what is that? Athlon 200 GE. I didn't want to spend that much to test this, but I might have. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's on bids. So let's see, what do we have for buy it now? Because I really don't want to spend that much. I guess $45 $45 would be it. Then what am I supposed to do with that AMD A6? But yeah, that right there. Then again, what can I get a Ryzen 3 for? Ryzen 3 2200G. Ryzen 3. Buy it now. This isn't usually how I buy a computer. I don't usually go least price to best, but yeah, I think that that Athlon might be the thing I might have to get. So we will postpone this until I buy that processor, which I don't know when that's going to be. So we'll postpone this. We'll do another live stream. So, oh man, my understanding was that all AMD processors were supposed to work in all AMD motherboards, starting with AM4, but it would appear that my understanding was wrong. And I am willing to admit that I was wrong. How did you get that? So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end things because I'm hungry. But, so anyway, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And where is my OBS studio? There it is. That's another suggestion, or another thing that might be possible. Huh. I'll have to look into that, how to get the free processor for the upgrade. But I guess I would have to buy the 3000 series processor and have a proof of purchase for that to happen, right? But honestly, like, I mean, what I would like to do at some point, I want to do a nice Ryzen 7 build, but that's just a little out of the budget right now. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that, and I'll do another live stream when I get to that point. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.